Back, an Ankeny woman is taking on the stigma surrounding substance abuse one step at a time, making a monumental change across the state. In tonight's Project Community, KCCI's Kayla James shows us what makes Ann Breeding a community champion.
In a sea of makeshift headstones, George McGinnis can easily spot the one dawning a familiar face.
This was a good friend of mine, Laura.
The 32-year-old.
She was in recovery for a while. It's where we met.
Sharing a similar story as the faces on surrounding headstones. A life lost to addiction.
Drugs doesn't discriminate at all. It can happen to anybody.
A fact McGinnis knows well.
It took 6 shots of Narcan in 5 minutes to bring me back my last overdose.
He's in long-time recovery, something he credits to a great support system.
There's people out there that do care if you really want the help.
Your daughter is beautiful.
Like Ann Breeding, who's never without kind words.
Oh, hi.
A warm and doting embrace.
Oh, aren't you just cute?
And love for families like hers.
Is your daddy on one of those banners? My son's on one of those banners. Isn't it so nice to see their faces?
Daniel Bailey, a son, father, brother, and the reason behind Breeding's mission.
Steps of Hope Iowa was a result of the tragic loss of my son, who I lost to an overdose on November 1st of 2020. Before he had died, he had suggested that I think about doing some kind of outreach to help people like him.
Bailey never got to see Steps of Hope Iowa in action, but every year since his death, on a special day in May,
Happy birthday, Papa.
Breeding connects hundreds of people fighting addiction and families who need support to resources and to each other, to end the stigma around addiction and to realize.
I lost my sister, Cassandra.
My uncle died in 2016.
We lost my childhood sweetheart and his mother.
They are not alone.
It's really important to hear. It's really important to hear their names. It's like they're here with us and their lives are making a difference.
Are you ready?
And making a difference?
Hey.
Looks like this, the unveiling and placement of Narcan dispensary boxes in Iowa. The first one bearing the Steps of Hope branding, placed in Polk County last August.
There is a stigma associated with substance use disorder that is preventing people from getting help. And people are dying because they're not getting help. If they're not breathing, they can't get help. They can't make the right decision to do what they need to do.
Nearly a year later, there's now more than a dozen across the state.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Breeding, raising the money through donations from people in the Steps of Hope community and ordering and dropping off the boxes.
We're all one big family, and everybody here is literally my family. The Steps of Hope community is my family.
Breeding will tell anyone who asks, Steps of Hope Iowa is a team effort, but others like McGinnis will be the first to sing her praises.
When I was struggling, Ann reached out. I can always message her when I need help with anything. And that's how she is. She's open and honest with everybody about everything.
With every step Breeding takes, she's working to make a difference in honor of her son and hundreds of lives who die by overdose each year.
Together, we get things done. Together, we make a difference. And nobody walks alone. We're all together in this, right? And again, we are family.
In Ankeny, Kayla James, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Polk County Board of Supervisors has invited Steps of Hope Iowa to its August 27th meeting. That's where the board will sign a proclamation recognizing August 31st as Overdose Awareness Day. And you can learn more about the program at stepsofhopeiowa.org.